We are back with another episode of The Film Doesn't Lie. Andre Ward versus Chad Dawson, round number 2. Quick disclaimer for you. If you are here on this channel or watching this video, what is the intention of why I'm even doing this in the first place? I'm hoping you learn sustainability, which means how to be self-sufficient and how to figure things out on your own, and how I use film study in boxing to not only get good at boxing on my own, but teach other people how to do the same thing. So let's enjoy round 2 of Andre Ward versus Chad Dawson. Episode 1 of this, which is round number 1, is already on my YouTube channel or video. Watch that, but let's get to it. Oh, and I got my notebook out because we're taking notes. We gotta take notes to get drills, to have an application of what we're doing, because we can't just watch film. We gotta apply it.
This would be two really good fight. Thomas.
Oops.
Super middleweight tournament.
Oh, right off the jump. Double jab, rear hand. Chad Dawson's a southpaw, by the way. So I say rear hand so we understand it's the backhand. It's the hand furthest away from your opponent relative, because in this particular position it may change. But however, Chad Dawson is a southpaw and his rear hand is his left hand. So let's look at that setup once again, right off the jump.
Good fighters in that super middleweight tournament.
Andre Ward moves to the right. Hey, take lead foot. Take lead foot. Andre Ward's moving to the right against the southpaw, getting away from the left hand.
But Dawson beat Thomas Adamek, and that's a big win in hindsight.
Absolutely, he won almost every round.
Please excuse the captions. I don't feel like taking them off right now because I don't want to mess up this film study. But already what we're looking at is a bunch of feints, right? And what are feints? Feints are a way of you asking your opponent a question, a way of you stalling your opponent. The umbrella statement would be a way to control your opponent as you're moving around the ring while you guys are both in an engagement ring. Andre Ward's really good at that. Chad Dawson's good at that as well, because I want you guys to remember, Chad Dawson is not bad. This is not just a wash. These are two good fighters.
Dropped late in the fight, got up and finished outboxing out of it.
Well, and there's been a lot.
So engagement happens right now. Chad Dawson had his first engagement, and yes, engagements have been happening this whole time, but nobody has really committed into anything outside of Chad Dawson off the jump when the round started, and Andre Ward right now. And how did he get this opportunity to win an engagement right now? Even though he may have not landed any punches, he was the aggressor in the situation. One judge might see him landing, one judge might see him missing. Either or, you have to agree that Andre Ward threw shots and Dawson never threw anything back. So how did he get here? He did it from moving to the right.
A big win in hindsight.
Absolutely, he won almost every round. Dropped late in the fight, got up and finished outboxing out of it.
Your boxing coach would say, move to the left against a southpaw. And a southpaw coach would say, hey, move to the right to take lead foot, right? And this is the reason why we watch film, because we want to see what's right. We don't like the trickle-down effect of things where somebody says something and there's no factual evidence based on data to prove that. So we want to take what our coach says. We don't want to be disrespectful. We want to ask questions to understand. We want to go ahead and say, okay, this is what you're saying. This is now a breadcrumb for me to find out the information on my own and to either confirm your information or get more information so I can come back to you and we can come up with a better game plan for me to be a boxer and a fighter who's competing against other people. If you're not competing against other people and you just want to be good at boxing, you don't have a coach that you need to take this to, because you're learning on your own.
Well, and there's been a lot of attention paid to the gaudy list of opponents that Ward beat in his 168-pound tournament. But as Dawson pointed out yesterday, I didn't just beat Thomas Adamek. I've got 2 wins over Antonio Tarver, 2 wins over Glenn Johnson. His opponent list, his opponent list.
We'll touch on that later.
As gaudy as that of Andre Ward, if taken in the right context.
Still moving to the right. Still moving to the right. He has not intentionally tried to move to the left just yet. And he is 35 seconds into round 2.
Well, a good hard right hook inside by Dawson. And another right hook for Dawson.
So a couple things that's happening right now off those 2 engagements is southpaw orthodox. Your lead hands are closer to each other than they would be in the same stance. So right now as Ward lunges in, or attempts to get into Dawson's space, Dawson is deciding to throw lead right hands, and these are hooks, right? Off of both of these, the commentator does go ahead and say good right hand, but you be the judge because the film doesn't lie.
If taken in the right context. Well,
Did he land that shot? I don't know. Film says the correct answer. But once again, we have to worry about perspective because judges are watching this fight. Commentators are watching this fight. Your homies are watching this fight. Families are watching this fight. Coaches are watching this fight based off of their perception in the moment. We get the actuality to be able to pause it and see that this shot didn't really land. It's cupping, it's behind the head, and Ward is good to go. But in the moment, you are competing, and your competition and what you do is based on what the judges see. So this may not be a good idea because it does look like something, but the information that we can take from this and the data that we can take going forward off this engagement is, okay, I come in, if my foot's on the inside, like Andre Ward's is, right, or actually, if we look correctly, thanks to film, my foot is on the outside. Dawson is trying to throw a lead hook at me from the southpaw stance.
good hard right hook inside by Dawson.
And he does it again. So that's 2 times in a row off these engagements. When I look to start my engagement, starts my setups, Dawson's going to counter or throw a right hook in response to what I'm doing. Let's see if Ward uses that information for later. Ward has a good IQ. I'm pretty sure he will. But the film will tell us. So this is no different, and it's important for you guys to understand this because Andre Ward's setup was something different, but when he decided to commit, the same thing happened. So he's going to get into engagement range, get to the line close enough to hit your opponent's close enough to hit you. He's going to throw 2 jabs, and we talked about this before. I don't want to call it a level change, even though that's what your coach's system may call it. I like to call it a positional change, so that way we can weaponize it a little bit more. So we understand what's available for us as we change from a high to a low position. So Andre Ward throws 1 jab high from a high position, and the second one he throws to get to a low position to load that right hand. He doesn't turn that right hand all the way over. He doesn't commit because this is his way of asking a question. And the question that he's asking is, when I lunged on the line before without any setups, which was the double jab to a positional change, you threw a right hook right away. Let's see if you do it when I have these setups as well. He realizes he got the same answer. So that is a testament to Dawson as a fighter. That's a testament to Ward as a fighter because Ward is trying to figure out, does Dawson know these things? And Dawson is letting Ward know, I do know these things. You jumped forward before and I threw right hooks, and I was advantageous according to what the commentators say, what the judges may feel. And then now when you get into your setup, which is a double jab, change levels to now get into a feinted right hand, I'm still going to throw that right hook at you.
He's trying to catch Ward coming in with that right hook. He's done it 3 times in a row.
Generally, when 2 guys like this meet, they have competent defenses. They're fast. They're in their prime.
So that's another. So now we get right into this, right? So this is the first time in that situation where Andre Ward commits to a lead right hand. Now it's early in the fight, round 2. So round 1, you can see if Andre Ward got this information before to do what he's doing, or if this is just part of his preparation and part of him and his coach's system to do against a southpaw after they throw a right hand. So the important situation here is I have a fighter, Frankie, who asked me a question because I fight out of both stances when we spar. He's fought against other southpaws as well. And as you guys watch more film, you'll realize that as a orthodox fighter, when you throw a lead right hand, what happens is sometimes you tend to dip your head afterwards. So when you dip your head afterwards and you're fighting against somebody who's a southpaw, that position right there where Dawson dips his head, he is now on the back foot in a low position, which means that he can come up to shoot a rear uppercut with just his left hand if he times it correctly. So what is Ward doing to negate that and not have to worry about it at all? Well, let's talk about positions once again. Right now, Ward is technically or conventionally a orthodox fighter. But right now, based on his position, according to Dawson's position, he doesn't really have left foot forward right now. So the way that Ward is dealing with the potential uppercut assuming based on what the film is as soon as Dawson dips, he is now taking his weight to control Dawson's head so it can't come up anymore. So he doesn't have to worry about the rear uppercut from Dawson anymore. So that's one way that Frankie and I will drill this week to take care of the rear uppercut from a Southpaw orthodox stance. And that's the reason why we have a notebook, because we want to go ahead and write notes so we can have a drill for that. That's something that we already should know. That's something that we already do know. But however, when you spar or when you apply these things, the questions that you ask is specific to what just happened. So that's a note that we'll write right now is, okay, how does Andre Ward deal with the rear uppercut from a Southpaw opponent?
During their prime, it's described as high-speed chess. That's not really what Andre Ward does. Andre Ward can win ugly fights.
A headbutt appears inevitable, and already Dawson has blood from a little mark above his right eye.
That's another thing you have to worry about in the orthodox Southpaw fight is potential headbutts. And if you notice, the way that we just talked about how to deal with an opponent's rear hand from a Southpaw standpoint is controlling their head. But in that same level of controlling, if not done correctly, that's an opportunity for you to get headbutted, which is your fault.
And there's one of the outcomes of Andre Ward's kind of mauling at times style.
This, you guys may not like it. It may be against the rules, tying somebody's hand up, because you have to be able to have free hands. The only thing that you're really supposed to be doing with your hands in boxing is punching and blocking. But this is a part of it. This is a part of boxing. So because it's a part of boxing, because it happens, I would suggest that you prepare for it. This is infighting. This is being able to control your opponent's hands and control your opponent's position so they're not in position that's advantageous towards them to be able to hit you. So may not like it. May hold a lot as far as what they say Andre Ward does, but this is a part of boxing.
Dawson was cut over both eyes in his second outing against Bernard Hopkins, the fight that he won by majority decision. Now he is bleeding from above the right eye.
So what can we learn from this attempt by Andre Ward right now? Because this is a lead left hand against a Southpaw. So what made him do that? That's the question I like to ask. Whenever I see something that a fighter does that's advantageous or disadvantageous, which is good for them or bad for them, I ask why it happened, and I reverse engineer how it happened, because in film I get to go backwards, right? So this could have been something good for Andre Ward. It could have been something bad for Andre Ward. So I want to find out in the film why he decided to do this. So we see he's going left foot, right foot, still moving to the right. Touching as he controls the space, seeing that Dawson is touching at the same time when he's there. So right now, if you notice, what information did we get? This is going to be off the disengagement. Walk, touch, extend the hand out. Walk, touch, extend the hand out. Walk, act like you're touching to extend the hand out. Come around the side. We talk about Dawson being a good fighter. We talk about as far as for the information that Ward had learned before, which was that Dawson understands that regardless of whatever you do first to try to set up this shot to lunge in, I'm going to try to hit you with the lead hook, which is my right hook as a Southpaw. Now, let's pay attention to their feet. This is another thing that happens. Right now, Ward is going to trip over Dawson's foot. Southpaw orthodox matchup, your feet get tangled a little bit more. So what does Ward do next? Potentially out of position. And why do we say potentially out of position? Because he's only in a position to defend right now. And by defend, which means not get hit. When we say out of position, we want to have all three things available for us: attack, defend, and move. Is there anything missing in the situation based on where Ward is at? That's questions that we ask in the film.
Now he is bleeding from above the right eye here in round two.
One of the reasons Andre Ward's a favorite is because there's a sense that he'll do what it takes to win, to pull out a close fight.
So this is we're building off of the same information here. Ward is still trying to do the same thing, and Dawson is still trying to do the same thing. What they're both trying to figure out is both of these things are advantageous for us right now, or potentially advantageous right now. We just need to get better at doing this same thing, or apply the same thing better. So this is a different way for Ward to do the same thing that he was doing, which was get into that outside foot to try to get into a lead left hand for him. Dawson is trying to do the same thing. When Ward jumps in, he wants to go ahead and lay a lead right hand for him. Who gets the best of that engagement? The film says Ward. He gets to land that left hand that he was trying to go ahead and lead. And he's still in the outside foot position, which takes away the right hand this time now that he's in. But then he's also going to control his head like he's been to, so he can take away Dawson's ability to come up with the uppercut as he's low, which is the only shot that he can really get off when his head is low. So it's important, if you guys heard the commentators, maybe they're on, maybe they're not. The commentators, once again, and they've been echoing this, good right hand by Ward. Good right hand by Ward. But let's see what the film says.
He'll do what it takes to win, to pull out a close fight.
Where's Ward's left hand and where's Dawson's right hand? Ward is trying to throw a left hand and land. Does he land? Dawson's trying to throw a right hand and land. Does he land? The film says no. So commentator may see one thing, judge may see one thing. However, when it comes to the application of the fight, something really happened. So two things could be said based off of this. Ward could be winning this engagement based on what really happened and us being able to pause the film. The judges could give Dawson this engagement because they saw the right hand land. But the film says otherwise. So now, based off the film, you got to ask yourself, who's doing a better job with their setups? And the answer based off of this is Ward. Ward is getting closer to landing the shot that he's attempting to land with better setups. And Dawson isn't having that same success. What does that mean for the fight going forward? Back to the feint again, and this is a way for Ward to see that Dawson is still trying to do the same thing. And this is a way for Dawson to see that Ward is trying to do the same thing. Still trying to get back into that shot. Dawson's still trying to counter with that right hand. Ask the question. Better safe than sorry. For both of them.
Ward has had the same trainer all of his career, Virgil Hunter. Dawson's had a variety of trainers, but has gone back to the one.
So what you guys can see in this round, for all of these engagements, both these fighters are trying to do the same thing. There's really no game plan switch that has happened outside of what they're trying to do. They're both trying to do the same thing right now. That was finally something different from Chad. He threw a straight 1-2, right? It was something new. He didn't commit to that left hand all the way because it was something new. So anytime that you punch, you do have a level of vulnerability to get punched back. So sometimes you don't want to commit all the way on these punches. But 34 seconds left in round 2. That was the first time Dawson tried to do that. First time Ward tried to do that as well. But if you notice, these fighters, or Ward right now, they have their setups, which is how they get in. They have the punch that they throw that they're in, and then they have their exit game plan to get out. Must complete the entire choreography, otherwise you may get clipped with something. That was Dawson's setup. Did he have an engagement? Did he have an exit strategy? The film says no. He didn't really need one because Ward just backed off the line and wasn't in position to be able to throw back with anything, which is how I like to defend, which is countering. Ward comes in with his double jab. Big right hand. Ooh, the technique is so bad off of this. Don't telegraph your punches. Don't open up your shots. Andre Ward is maybe the GOAT, Hall of Famer. Look what he's doing at the professional level. He misses. You prepare to miss. That's part of your training. This is the exit. I miss. Chad Dawson's off the line. Let me go ahead and exit so I don't get hit with any follow-up punches because I may be out of position right now. Disengage. Now we back on the line again. Touch, touch. Feint. Foot feint. And when we talk about feints, right, I always like to see what are we doing with our hands, what are we doing with our head, what are we doing with our feet, what is our opponent doing with their head, what are they doing with their hands, what are they doing with their feet. So when we go to feints, feints are the idea of asking a question. So you can foot feint, you can feint with your head, you can feint with your hands. All these are you asking a question. But when you feint, that doesn't just stall your opponent where you get free information. You have to act as if whatever you feinted with is actually going to happen. Otherwise, somebody's just going to fire when you feint and you're not going to be ready for it.
You can feel
Something new. Instead of Ward lunging forward from the front foot to now go to the back foot or get into his lead left hand, right? He's just going to stay from that high to low position, and he's going to stay low as he transfers to throw that right hand, and then he goes right into a tie-up, which is part of his exit. Let's watch that again. If you notice, he went high with that first right hand, but it came from a low position because his first jab gets him high. The second one gets him low, and he's loading from that low position to get into his next punch. Or he's going straight into a jab that's going to bring him to that low position where he can load to get into that rear hand, which is his right hand for him. That's what he did in this engagement. Now, if this next one, based off of the information, he saw that Chad Dawson took away from the high punch. So now he's like, my setup works. I didn't get punched with anything back. Let me go ahead and try a new punch selection and still make sure I end my engagement. Feint, 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 high, high, a little bit lower. Change positions. See if Dawson's aware of this. Come back up. Low. Stays low, smothers, ends the engagement. I get to punch you, and then when I'm done punching you, the punching stops. You don't get to hit me anymore.
You can feel how tactical this fight is. Both fighters would rather watch a fight of the year than be in one.
Same thing, but this time that's a feint. Andre Ward asked, like, hey, I did this to you before. You should know I did this to you before. I'm not going to do it all the way again, but I'm going to get in this position to see if you do anything off the new information I gave you.
The year than be in one.
I gave you new information before by going from a low position to staying low to shoot to the body. Now when I go low to again, are you prepared for this? Dawson is. He takes a step back. The way you take care of punches to the body is you step back to make sure your body's not there, or you go ahead and protect the body. But protect the moneymaker with your head first as you protect the body at the same time. That head control is so subtle, but it's such an important thing because as you get better at boxing or as you understand and watch film more, because that's what I'm here for, to teach you how to watch film so you can teach yourself how to fight and get better at boxing. Controlling someone's head is so important because if you can control where their head is, you can control where it can't go. And if I'm on the back foot and my head is down and I can't come up, that means I can't throw a rear hand, which is Dawson's left hand. And if you're on my right shoulder, I can't throw a right shoulder either. So you take away all punches from me as soon as you go ahead and throw yours. I'm disadvantageous. You win the engagement. That little cup right there too, glove is open. That's important as well. You get more surface area. Your hand covers more space when it's open than it is closed. So anybody who tells you to clench your hands the whole entire time, you're missing out on some inches. Round 2 is done. So if you notice, recap of what we had here, both of the fighters tried doing the same thing. And I don't mean the same thing as far as that they were doing the same setups. With their game plan, Ward was trying to get in to throw his left hand, and Dawson was trying to back up to throw his right hand as a counter. Based on round 2, who got the most data to see if they can be advantageous early in the fight? The film doesn't lie. Hopefully you got information to understand how to look at film and reverse engineer and look at the things that you need to work on your own. Head control, what to do after you finish your punches, what you do to go ahead and get in. But I have drills for you as well. Links are going to be in the description for you to have daily boxing workouts from me. There's a footwork course for you. Also, if you need strength and conditioning and be a better athlete, all of that will be there for you. But once again, I want you guys to use this film to get better at boxing on your own and improve your IQ, so you don't have to wait for anybody, because you'll work out more than your own than you will with anyone else. So I want you guys to be better fighters and better at learning how to get the skills of whatever you're trying to get good at. But that's episode 2 of the Andre Ward Dawson fight, round 2 of The Film Doesn't Lie. I'll see y'all in the next one.